Hello, happy Sunday. How are you all? Welcome to Travel Transition Together. Let's see if we are, in fact, live. Let's see if we are. Yep, I've got sound on my phone there. Last week was a little bit of connection issues, but not too bad. So, hello, welcome. I can see a couple of people there. So, if you are traveling, whether you're traveling as a solo, retired, let me know in the comments. If you have left a home, a country, where did you leave? Where are you now? How long have you been doing this? Drop it in the comments there. Today's topic we'll start with, and then we'll feed each other in, you know, and be part of this community together. It's not just going to be me waffling, right? So today's topic is, well, my thumbnail was Beyond Paradise. Beyond Paradise. So talking about sickness while you're abroad, right? Not the best topic in the world, right? But it's real. And that's what I'm all about on this channel. The realities, the real world, the real life. And as a community, we can help each other through it, right? Stay to the end because I'll try and lighten it up a little bit and let's bring some humor. There might be some humorous stories that you can drop in the comments about being sick. So you might have got something good out of it, right? Every cloud and all that, right? So the title is The Realities of Getting Sick While Traveling. So have you been ill while you've been traveling, or a loved one? Um, what happened, and did it change travel thereon for you? So that is what we're going to talk about. Okay. I'm just going to go through the general things really, really quick. You might want to get a paper and pen and a brew and make yourself comfortable. Not for long, not here for much longer now. This lovely pool that we haven't been able to go in the whole time we've been here because of sickness, and I'll get onto that. And I wanted to, I don't know if you can see this here, turn my camera. This is a little sort of gazebo-y thing with the mosquito net around it. And I wanted to do my live in there tonight because we are moving on Tuesday. This is the last time we'll be here. And I thought, I could be like Paula Yates on The Big Breakfast. Did you ever watch The Big Breakfast? Am I showing my age now? But the reason I didn't, there's a light on there and everything, and I put the mosquito thing around it so I could be mosquito free. But it's got a lovely little fish pond around the outside, and there's nowhere to put my stand really. And if I put it on the bed, it'll move. And I was fearful of it getting in the water and getting damaged. So no big breakfast today. Okay. So yes, travel transition together. If you're new here, it is about, we've been doing this for 6 months. We're newbies, right? And so I wanted to bring a community on this channel for just as much to help me as anything else as well. There's a lot of experienced people out there, 10 years plus been doing this with families, world schooling. And I just thought there's a wealth of knowledge out there. And this, I've learned that there's so many WhatsApp groups, we're bombarded with them while we're out here, and they're very useful. Don't get me wrong, they're brilliant. But it's nice to have a bit more intimacy. So I wanted to show up. I do this every fortnight because I do it in between my other group, Real Life Together, for everyone else. So every fortnight I show up and we'll talk about all things travel. I'll just start off with a topic and we'll take it from there. So yeah, and I wanted to do it because I wanted to get a community going where you can feel comfortable and ask questions and share tips and experiences while you are physically moving from country to country and finding your next face-to-face community. Because that was the first one I did of these, was the uncomfortable feeling that you get every time you travel, right? That whole, am I going to feel settled? Are we going to find a community? What's the accommodation like? All these questions that happen every time, even if you are one of the experienced people. Because I asked around, I said, does this feeling ever go? And they're like, you kind of get used to it, but no, it's always there some way, shape or form, right? So that's why I wanted to start these lives. And it's very early days. I'm a small channel anyway, so not talking to great big audiences, but I'm showing up nonetheless, and hopefully we can build a community together, and that's my intention. So that's off. So my background is I used to be a physio in a former day, turned mindfulness teacher. So I qualified to be a mindfulness teacher in 2018. It helped me through a lot of things in my life, and I do practice as much as I can, and I show that on this channel. That's why it's all real life, feeling it raw, real and raw. So I will use those skills, put those skills in where I feel it's helped me, and show you, and hopefully as a community we can share these kind of skills. But anything that comes up that might be a bit personal or whatever, I'm not a therapist or anything, just to get that out there. Yeah, and things like, I just love this quote I say every time is, what's shared here stays here, and what's learned here can leave here. So hopefully you learn something and share something, and we build this community. So that's it really. With all that, I've put some links in the description, in the comments. It's my newsletter, my blog on Substack, my Ko-Fi, which is for any donations, and my digital products. And lastly, I've got my email there. If anything resonates and you want to go a bit deeper, you can email. Okay, let's talk sickness then. It's not the best topic, and I know. These are what I'm going to go through. I've got some notes here, so I'll be glancing backwards and forwards. I'll let you know what I'm going through, and then I'll jump back on to see if you've put anything down in those comments. So I'll talk you through my story. We're going through some stuff at the minute, so I just thought, let that be the topic, right? As we're going through, let's reflect in real time. And the reality of getting ill abroad, the actual reality of it. What if it's something more serious? Because what we're going through is nothing in comparison to what a lot of people have and will be going through. So I appreciate that. So what happens if it's more serious? That the big old travel insurance debacle. Do we not have? Different travelers facing different challenges. So whichever category you fall in, you might have different challenges around falling ill when you're traveling. What we've learned as a family, and then we'll try and end it with a little bit of some jest, some light-hearted stories about getting sick abroad. Is there a silver lining out there? I'm sure we can find one between us. Right. Let me jump back to the comments, see if there's anything being put in there. Oh no. I can see one other person in the chat. I've just had an error message come up, and I had this before, and it cut the last 7 minutes of my live. Can you tell me if it's working or not? I'm not sure this is going to work. Let me check. Tell me if it's working or not. I'm not sure this is going to work. Right, bear with me. Let me check. Tell me if it's... I'm not sure this is going to work. Right, bear with me. Let me check. Right, I'm just sending a message to hubby. I see a second person is on. Oh, a couple of more people on again. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me okay. I've got an error message, and I don't want to get stuck into this if my connection's not great here. So if you can hear me and see me okay, just pop it in the chat there, and then we can get going. But I don't want to get started if the connection's not good. Oh no. I'm not sure what to do here. Send one stream to primary and just... I don't even know what that means. I can hear you. Right, Alison. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's continue then. I just know that same message happened before and it cut 7 minutes off. So thank you. Thank you for bearing with me. Excellent, excellent. We're all on. Good. Right, let's get talking. So, where are you from, Alison? Are you traveling? Are you on your travels? Thinking about traveling? Let me know in those comments. Okay, so our story then. Well, we've just come from Vietnam in Hoi An. Well, we've been here over a week now in Bali in Ubud. And basically my eldest daughter got impetigo. So if you don't know what impetigo is, it's a contagious skin infection, which is quite common with young kids, right? Usually in nurseries or whatever. So it's something you get back home. We think she might have got bitten by sea lice or something like that. Never even heard of them back in England, but they usually get you around the sort of nickel line there of the costume, of your swimming costume. And we think she got bitten there. She's scratched, opened the wound, and then maybe gone into dirty water in a pool or something. And she only told us she was itching, and we just said, stop scratching, don't scratch it. And then she didn't say anything for like a week later. And then she showed up, and the sore was like as big as a 10 pence piece. And it was open. And we were like, oh my God, why didn't you come to us sooner? So it was already open, it was already progressing. And we were like, oh my God. And I don't really like using antibiotics. We're not really supposed to anyway, are we? Because we don't want to get immune to them and all the rest of it. So I tried all sorts before I got going with it. Before we went to the doctors, I tried. So it was, a good couple more days of just trying and cleaning it and all the rest of it. And so enough was enough. It was just spreading. It was going around the whole bum, to the top of a thigh. And we're like, all right, we can't keep on top of this. So we got antibiotics and didn't clear up, went back for more. So this was in Vietnam. I'll talk about who we saw and everything in a minute, like the stream of people we saw. But it got a bigger issue because we just couldn't keep on top of it. It kept spreading. We had the antibiotics, we had another course of antibiotics, and they just randomly start appearing all over, not even in the same spot. And we're like, oh gosh. So, and then in that accommodation in Vietnam, our kids are sharing a bed. Even with all the washing and every day washing the bedding and the towels like they say you can. I mean, they're sharing a bed. What are you going to do? I mean, this is the realities of traveling. How do you keep something contagious apart from your kids? You can't. Like, we've got so many alcohol wipes and gels and all the rest of it. So it's just been really, really hard. So then we had both of them have it. So how many clinics and appointments have we needed? So we ended up visiting the hospital in Vietnam 3 times. I think we went back twice for Jasmine and then ended up going once for Sage, because they wouldn't give Sage antibiotics at first, which I'm pleased about because she's only 5. And we ended up going and getting them, unfortunately. But I got some probiotics as well because I know that it's bad for the gut and we're trying to restore that. So yeah, 3 hospital visits. We were in Hoi An, and there is a hospital in Hoi An, but someone had recommended Vinh Duc, which is Hoi An and Da Nang. So we went there, and I think not all tourists go there because we got really good service. And I'm not saying the locals don't, but we really did. And even the runs the hospital came to shake our hand both times we were there. When I was there, I think Richard went the 3rd time with just Sage. So yeah, came running out and shaking our hands and, oh, I've heard about you in our meetings, and really felt like a celebrity. It was weird. So yeah. Oh, it's me from Pelaware. Hi, Alison. Nice to see you. Yeah, so we had three hospitals in Vietnam, and then we thought we'd got on top of it before we left there. And we got here to Bali and more appeared. So we were like, we've got to go back and get sorted, because the accommodation we had in Vietnam, it was so hot there. We didn't have a pool. And so we made a point of it in the planning stages of coming here to make sure we had a pool. So we've had this lovely pool and we haven't been able to go in it because it's so contagious. So we went straight to the doctors to try and clear it up so we could enjoy our time here. And we had 2 doctor's appointments. The first doctor only gave us 3 days of antibiotics, and then Sage started again. So we had to go back and get them both on it again for longer. So, lots of doctors, lots of hospitals, lots of pharmacies. We've been here. By the time we leave, it's 11-night stay here when we leave on Tuesday. And we've spent the majority of the first 5 days just going about doctors and pharmacists. So it's been really, really difficult. And that's it. How has it affected your plans and emotions? Well, back in Vietnam, we went all in on the the world schooling groups. I keep saying homeschooling. We went all in on the world schooling groups and thought we'll leave a few weeks at the end to do the sightseeing stuff. And then this happened. So talking about change of plans, it was 39 degrees at that point, and we didn't have any aircon in the living room in this place we stayed. It was a lovely place, but it just wasn't practical for what we wanted. There was aircon in the bedrooms. The girls' aircon was cooler because ours had a pointed roof, a pitched roof, but it was wooden, and it was just the aircon wasn't doing anything. So there was only one room in the whole place, the girls' room, that was actually quite cold in 39-degree heat. So when you're confined to your accommodation and it's that hot, it was really difficult, and because of where this all started with Jasmine, sort of top of her thigh and on a bum, she was literally walking around the place half naked and lying on her belly because she had creams on it and stuff, so she was just lying on the couch for the whole time. It just was really, really difficult. And then, of course, we're trying not to get it ourselves, I ended up, that's why I've been showing up with no makeup on and my glasses, because I've got a sty, which apparently is the same infection, right? And a bit of ear infection going on. So I'm feeling run down with it. And that's the thing, when you travel with families, I'm going to get onto that, but it's just so difficult, isn't it, with something like this that's so contagious? It's something so small and trivial in the grand scheme of things, but it can make life really difficult. And emotions, you're gutted, we're absolutely gutted that we haven't been able to do the things. That's what we're here for. We're here to experience. Now, we're getting on to 6 months being out, and we're lucky to have got this far, I think, with our first bout of something. So I'm blessed for that, but it's still, it's difficult. We didn't get to see the sights in the sightseeing stuff in Hoi An there, and we haven't seen as much as we'd like to have here in Ubud before we move on Tuesday. So, it just means we have to go back, right? So difficult. I've put in here that we felt locked in, like it felt like we were in lockdown again. The highlight was getting a Grab. So Grab isn't just a taxi. If you've heard of Grab before, Grab isn't just a taxi. They actually deliver food. So we were getting our breakfast every morning delivered to us because it was just nice. It was a highlight of our day. And this place that we got it from, this bakery, they used to put little post-it notes with thank you and have a good day and all this. And we got it that many times. We put these little post-it notes up on our kitchen. And I thought, it brightens our day. Even my eldest Jasmine, she would be like, oh, what's the post-it note say today? And I thought, like I say, every cloud, that's been a little bit of a spark of joy in amongst the difficult time. And so I thought, I want to share that kindness back. So I messaged on WhatsApp and said, thank you, you're bringing us joy at a dark, difficult time. My daughter loves seeing your post-it notes. And then she wrote back and said something quite gushy, you're very welcome, and blah, blah, blah. Hubby goes, "Oh, that's a bit over the top, isn't it?" And I was like,